I am a farmer. My primary farming right now has been with Gonja, but I am curious to get into a venture that has a bit of a quicker turnover with bigger returns. And so that is how I landed on Mr. Charles' content on TikTok, and I decided to come for myself. The idea of this small space being able to generate, as much fish as he has said, the idea that the water is recycled. I don't need to be putting in new water. I thought that was very scientific. People who have gone to school should be doing things a bit smarter. You can't be digging ponds and eh? and buying neighbors' thingies, you know. Yeah, that's really basically why I'm here. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to contribute to food in a bigger way that will benefit me.
Yes.
Yes.
Because we want farmers to understand many things that they don't know out of fish farming.
Yes, yes.
It's beyond fish farming. Knowledge is key. It's very important that you come
Yes.
to get knowledge.
To get knowledge, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Very opportunity that you have come
When you're here, amazing. Amazing, yes.
And your name once again?
I am Kutesa Hillary. I'm a psychiatrist.
Wow.
So farming is
You're busy analyzing all over.
no, not really. I take off hats. I totally take off hats. Once I move out of the clinic, the hat is off.
Okay.
Eh, and I'm doing other things. Totally doing other things. Yes.
Just tell me the genesis of this farm.
This is a cooperative society that is specializing in commercial fish farmers of catfish. We have a hatchery at Nakabugo, and here we have a nursery and a brood stock. Yes.
Why do you specialize in catfish?
We specialize in catfish because we are tank-based fish farmers. And in being a tank-based fish farmers, we thought, the research we did, we found out that catfish is the best species that we can farm. The other reason is catfish is a very tasty fish.
Yeah, I know.
Those who have never tasted catfish,
I've tasted it, and it
me,
is
I prefer it over any other type of fish, catfish, because it mixes very well the meat and the fat, and has got a beautiful flavor. The other reason is catfish is one of the best fish to farm commercially. First of all, it allows you high stocking density, because when you are talking commercial, it means the numbers. So per unit volume of water, say 1,000 liters, it can allow you to stock a lot of fish in that 1,000 liters. Where tilapia can allow you about 50 kilograms of fish per 1,000 liters.
Yeah.
Catfish can allow you 100 kilograms of fish per 1,000 liters to start. It can even allow you 200 kilograms of fish. So it has got a very high stocking density. It is not territorial. It's not like the ngege. Ngege is territorial. It has got those zones and it doesn't want to be crowded together. Then catfish is very hardy. It's not very finicky. It's not very choosy about the quality of water that you can stock it in. And catfish is very easy to feed. Besides the other qualities, it is very tasty. It's very easy to feed. Feeding catfish is carnivorous. So anything that has got a lot of protein, you'll grow catfish. You don't have to have a special formulation to feed the catfish. For tilapia, it is slightly different. It's more complicated. Then again, as we, people who farm fish in the tanks, we have got one very major challenge: electricity. Because
Yes.
the high stocking density that I'm talking about is only achievable if you can use electricity to artificially put oxygen in water.
Yeah.
And for that you need a motor, and motor needs electricity. Now, a lovely country here, electricity is something which is very unpredictable. Even
Yeah.
as you are walking in, it disappeared.
I
Then
understand.
it came back. So with electricity shortages and load shedding and high cost, you cannot survive with any other fish except catfish. So high stocking density, electricity goes off, within half an hour you lose tilapia. But with catfish, it will stay there even for the next day. You'll find it. If you took out tilapia and put it outside there, and you put out catfish and you put it there, tilapia will be dead in half an hour to 1 hour. Catfish will be around and thriving.
Which type of catfish do you farm? Because in other countries we have spotted kind of tilapia. We have short lips tilapia. Catfish. We have different species. So in this kind of farming, which type do you have? Are we having Ugandan type or?
We are having,
I was just eyeing from American standard.
We are having what is called African catfish. Now, catfish is a unique species. It has got 12 different genera and about 74 different species. In fact, that's why this is the best fish to farm, because here we are trying to see how we identify a particular pedigree, a specific catfish that has got the special qualities. So in our program, we are trying to see how we genetically identify and isolate a species which has got some special traits. When you looked at fish farming, we found the challenges are many. And some of these challenges are quality feed, quality seed, and the knowledge.
Yeah.
There are other challenges, but these are the major ones. So we decided to concentrate on production of quality seed. Because with the production of quality seed, it becomes easy to boost the industry. It's like any other agriculture. If you don't have a quality seed, it becomes very difficult for you to sustain your production.
Yeah.
So with the quality seed, we have a hatchery at Nakabugo. It has got a capacity of 7.2 million fingerlings per year. And for that, here we have the brood stock. The brood stock is used for getting out the fingerlings which we hatch. So we get out the brood stock, we take it there, we hatch it, and then we produce the quality seed. In a quality seed, we have to clearly identify what we mean.
Yeah.
Quality seed is like, for those who are doing poultry, this is the day-old chick. The day-old chick, here by legend we know that Yuga chick produces a quality chick. Quality day-old chick.
Yeah.
In our section, our quality seed is a fingerling which is 10 grams. That is the one which you supply to the farmer. Now, to get the fish to grow to 10 grams, it will take us 2.5 to 3 months. So for us, we think that to be able to supply the industry with a quality seed, we must supply them a fish fingerling which is 10 grams, 8 to 10 grams. And we believe that is what is suitable for stocking the ponds. When you stock the fish and it is 10 grams, you get a lot of advantages. The industry is used to using 1.2 grams, 3 grams, 5 grams. But when you take a 10 grams fingerling, one of the biggest advantage is that you cut down the gestation period. Usually fish takes 6 to 8 months to grow to 1 kilo, market size. But with the 10 grams, you can take 4 months. When you take 4 months, it means you have got 3 seasons in a year. So automatically you are commercially viable. Another advantage,
Yeah.
it is much easier to feed. If you have got that small fish, it's very delicate, it's still a baby. And you must use those sophisticated feeds which are imported. But when it is 10 grams, you can even produce your own feeds on the farm, which automatically cuts down the cost of feeding. Because I told you the challenges are knowledge, quality seed, quality feed. So with the production of a quality seed, we solve the three challenges at the same time. We solve, first of all, the knowledge, because we talk to you and say, look, you need to produce your own feeds so that you cut down the cost.
That is it.
So we automatically cut down the cost of feeds. And when you reduce the gestation period from 8 months to 4 months, even the quantity of the feed that you are going to give is going to be reduced. You automatically become commercially viable. Because you are feeding for a short time, you are using low-cost feeds, and the market size remains the same. The market size for catfish is 6,000 to 5,000 to 6,000 per kilo. That one we also want to handle. How? We believe that if, as a cooperative, we can market the fish directly to the consumer.
Yes.
Because if they buy your fish at 5,000 or 6,000, the middleman, he will sell it to the market at say 10,000. When the consumer comes to buy it, he'll buy it at 15,000 or 20,000. So if we can approach the consumer and he buys the fish at 10,000 or 12,000, he buys it cheaper, and the fish farmer gets it, he can sell it at 6,000 or 7,000, which is a very good price.
Fellow farmers, you have to listen carefully here, because some farmers like George, the one I met yesterday, they were asking me many questions about fish farming. How do you fish? Which type of fish? Which type of ponds? Which type of... Many questions that any farmer who wants to start fish farming may ask. Here are the answers from the experienced farmer. You know, it is very interesting to talk to somebody who does the exact venture. Here you get right information. You know, I've realized where we go wrong in Uganda is that we want to start something because somebody has started it.
Exactly.
Before doing research. Before we go further, what that thing would you expect, would you tell that farmer who wants to venture into fish farming before he starts?
Fish farming is not different from any other enterprise. Knowledge. Don't enter fish farming if you don't have the right knowledge. With the right knowledge, you know exactly what you are going to do. Don't enter fish farming because you heard that there is a lot of money. Yes, there is a lot of money to be made, but there is a lot of challenges that is very easy to lose all your money. Starting from the technology that is appropriate to the market. You need to have a complete knowledge package which enables you to understand exactly what's happening. When we realized that, we thought that we needed to find a way of introducing those people who want to enter the industry. Yeah. And we have started what is called a syndicate. In a syndicate, we encourage people to work together. How? So, for example, if yourself, himself, and somebody else, we come together and we invest in a project. Suppose to set up a fish farming project like this requires 50 million Uganda shillings. You'll be very skeptical to put your 50 million when you don't have the right knowledge, when you don't understand what the market is, when you don't understand where to get the seed and the feeds. So people are reluctant to invest because they lack the right knowledge.
Yes.
So in a syndicate, we are saying no. If you want to come, first understand the market. Don't invest in anything unless and until you understand the market. Because eventually, whatever you are doing, you must sell it to recover your money. So in this, you come, you pool your resources, Suppose you put in 5 million, 5 million, 5 million. We start with the low-hanging fruit. What is that? We know that the farmers out there, they sell their fish at the price of 5,000, 6,000 per kilo.
Yes.
And we also know that in the market, fish is 15,000 to 20,000 a kilo. So we must understand what is that dynamics. We have a setup here, and we say you're encouraged to come and put your stock of fish here, and then you go out and look for the market. When you go out to look for the market, first of all, you identify the people who supply you the fish, and then you buy the fish, stock it, and then you sell it to the market. In this arrangement, you get to understand the industry that you are going to enter into.
Yes.
The first and foremost thing, you understand the market. Yes, I can sell my market in this number of tons at this price. Don't go by what I say or by what everybody says, that fish, you can sell it at 10,000 a kilo. Go and find out yourself.
Don't just listen to
Don't
other
just
people.
listen and then gamble a lot of your money.
Yes.
So with this facility, you can handle the market with a very little investment, say 5 million, instead of investing 50 million. If you are together, you all go out and you look for the market. You learn to work together. We have a very good African proverb which says that if you want to go far,
Run with others.
you go together. If you want to go fast, you go alone. In this country, in fact in Africa, we are not very used to working together.
Of course.
And we have very good reasons.
People fear each other.
One of the key reasons is that people fear each other. Sente zange.
Yeah.
So we have an app which helps you to track your investment, your equity. You can invest money, you can invest know-how. For example, you people, you are the media. We need media in order for us to market. Now, we look into how much does it take us to market our produce through your media. And we say, okay, it is 2 million. So we don't have the 2 million because we are just starting.
Yeah.
So we'll bring you on board, and your 2 million will be logged in as your equity. That's what you are putting.
Yes.
Then somebody will be ready. He has the market. He knows how to sell the fish at a premium price, maybe at 20,000 a kilo. We'll say, how much would a marketeer like that be paid? Maybe he can be paid 500,000 per month plus a commission. But before we sell, we can't realize that money. So the 500 will be taken as his equity.
Yeah.
Then somebody will be having his own money. He'll say, no, me, I'll invest the money. I have 20 million. So his money will be his equity. Now, all those different components can be tracked online on each individual phone, that you'll be knowing that my equity, I've put in 500,000. Somebody has put in 5 million. So naturally, you have got just 10% of what comes in. Right?
Yes.
And your equity is dynamically changing according to your efforts. So this encourages. If you are putting 500,000 and then you land on some 3 million, you immediately bring it so that you boost your equity. And then nobody quarrels with the other because you can track your equity. If we sell and then we are supposed to divide the benefits, you know your percentage. If your percentage is 10%, you get 500,000. Don't quarrel, because that's your equity. Next time, put in more money. So you can track the investment, the equity, dynamically, because it keeps on changing. What prevents people from working together is we sit together as friends and we say, yes, we start a business. If we are two, we say, okay, we'll share 50-50. But that 50-50 is okay now, but it will change. Suppose you bring in 5 million and I bring in 5 million, and you are the one who is looking for the market, and I'm seated in the office. Naturally, you should earn more. Unless and until we can track your effort dynamically, because it keeps on changing, you'll not be happy. And what ends up, you'll split.
We break.
So if we can dynamically monitor everybody's effort and everybody is satisfied, then people will work together. So in this industry, we're introducing that type of arrangement whereby these facilities are available for renting. You bring in your fish, you stock it, and people go out and look for the market, and people go out and contribute to their own different efforts. People will have their own different qualifications, they'll have their own abilities.
Yeah, you talked about that element. But on your table where I've met you, I'm seeing books and files.
Yes.
What is so special about this, and why do you keep records? For example,
Keeping records is one of the biggest thorn in everybody's back. Because as farmers, in fact as businessmen in Uganda, we don't like keeping records. So you must, in this particular app that I'm talking about, you are keeping records online. They're being tracked every minute. And somebody is entering that data. And you can monitor that record
everywhere.
Instantly.
Everywhere,
So
even if you're in the US.
If your information is entered and for some reason you don't see it, you can immediately call the person who is concerned. So record keeping is actually the glue that keeps the whole thing together. Because if you can't capture my record instantly, then I start to doubt you. So trust will only come when you can see that my data is being captured as it happens.
So which means what you are saying, every farmer or every person in that venture may need each other, depending
yes.
on, you can't just sit there, you fellow farmers who are listening and watching us, and you say you are working alone. Because you may need a marketer, you may need a salesman, you may need a farmer.
You may need a lawyer.
A lawyer, because most farmers lack those.
Exactly.
Those things. They don't even think about them.
That's right.
Because of late we visited many farmers and they are showing you a piece of land. I have this land. Then you talk about security. Do you have security? You say,
do you have insurance?
Insurance, no. It tells you my home is the other side, like adjacent, like 5 acres. And I think I can put cameras around and I monitor my project.
That's right.
So when you talk about these things, I see what some people in other developed countries, those farmers, talking about.
That's
like right. The Indians, they put businesses where they sleep in order to monitor very well everything.
That's right.
So record keeping is part of farming or in a business. If you don't keep records, you may not know the proceeds
That's right.
you are coming up with. So tell me another special thing that a fish farmer should do before you go to the farm itself.
Fish farming is special. Fish farming is the only sustainable means of generating the proteins that we need. Uganda's population now is 48 million, 49 I think, and in 2050 we are going to be more than 100 million. What does that mean? That means mouths to feed. Now, when we talk about food security, we usually talk about proteins. Protein is the biggest component of food security. Now, proteins we can get from, and particularly animal protein. Yes, we can get beans, we can get soya, that's the plant protein. But strictly we are talking about animal protein. The animal protein demand is huge. Where we get the protein from, we can get it from cattle, we can get it from goats, from sheep, from pig, from chicken. But all those systems are not very sustainable. The only sustainable means of getting animal protein is fish farming. Because for us, we recycle all our waste completely. I'll show you around. And then, for us, we need a relatively smaller space to grow the same amount of protein. For example, in this area, this is a room, a structure of 8 meters by 8 meters, that is 64 meters square. In that, I can produce 6 tons of fish per year. 6 tons of fish per year. If each ton of fish, if each kilo is 10,000, that means each ton is 10 million. That means that system can generate for me 60 million a year. If my expense is 50% all covered, I can earn 30 million from that area.
If you remove everything.
Yeah. If I'm a cattle farmer, this is about 0.016 of an acre. A cattle farmer to produce 6 tons of meat a year will need 9 acres, 9 to 10 acres. Now,
listen carefully.
In this country, akataka kafuka akataka. So, you either have access to the 9 to 10 acres so that you can grow your meat for cows, or you need just this space.
So it depends on you. Which venture do you want? What is more profitable? Is it fish? Is it cattle? So cattle farmers don't say that we are against you.
We are not.
Just,
in fact, this information I got from a cattle farmer.
Yes.
Then I did some research, and he can also, or she can also do his or her own research. The information that I give is my own personal researched information, and everybody is free to research their own information. I research my information because this is the industry I'm in. I must compare with other industries. The beauty of this information is that it is freely available on your phone.
Yeah, you can subscribe to the Farmers Hub.
Yes.
And listen, because this time round we are giving you 2 things. Before you go to the pictures that you want to see most, we need you again to understand the economics of everything that you do. Before you venture into anything, you need to understand the economics, and again, profitability. You know, it's not good to just farm every day and go on with it. Okay? So, if an expert is telling you, listen, comment, you may also come around here and understand all the requirements to come up with a good fish farming. Maybe you can answer that phone. It might be busy.
The situation in Uganda, as I told you, a fast-growing population, we get our fish from 3 sources. One, we are so endowed with capture fish, lake, rivers, and whatever, we can get fish. The requirement for fish in this country is 870,000 metric tons per year. From capture, we get 450,000 metric tons. From farmed fish, we get 120,000 metric tons. That leaves us with a total of 570,000 metric tons, which leaves a deficit of 300,000 metric tons.
Yeah.
This deficit we import. We import from China, from Asia, and so on and so forth. Now, if you take a kilo of fish to be around 10,000, that's around 700,000. That is around 700 million US dollars. So when somebody is entering this industry, he should find out where is the market, what is the market, and what part of that market do I need to fulfill. That's why we introduced the syndicate. That the people who are wanting to enter this industry will first of all sample the market. These statistics, when I give them to you, they don't mean anything unless and until you actually experience them.
Yes.
When I say the fish is going to be sold at 10,000 a kilo, you need to go and find out. You need to have the fish first. So in a syndicate, you'll have the fish, you'll go out and look for the market. You'll cash on to the market, and then you'll come back and say, yes, this is what I need to do. So statistically, It is okay to get the information, you can get it online, but you need to actually walk the talk by going out, finding out the market, by going out and finding out the people who are farming fish. Yes. Now, with that 300,000 metric tons of fish deficit, that is the current. But it is growing with the population. It is growing with the regional demand and with the export. If the market is 700 and something million US dollars, what portion of that do you want? When you focus like that, then you join the industry and you are determined. It is not like, I get a lot of people when they come here, they say, what is the smallest system that I need to put up? How much is one tank? That is the wrong
And most people even ask,
question to ask.
How many fingerlings should I put here?
But this is a good question for somebody who wants to have a sampling of what the commitment he should make. Now, in commercial activity, there is a certain quantity that you need to invest in order for it to start to make sense for you. For example, if you're a poultry farmer, you can say, no, I'm starting. Let me start with the 20 birds. Yeah, you start with the 20 birds, they all chick. You will struggle through the process until when you grow them to maturity. And then somebody else will start with 100 birds. 100 birds is beginning of commercial viability. The guy who has started with 100 birds, he will realize the commercial investment that he has put in. And you who has put in 20 birds, you will suffer the same way that he's suffering, except the return on your investment is going to be non-existent.
Yes.
So here, when we set up a system, we need you to start with a system like this. That's why, if you join a syndicate, you start with this system. We need all your attention to look at this system as your starting system. Before that, we had the IBC, the International Bulk Container Tank System, and we've been propagating that on our TikTok, but I'm discouraging people to go there because that system's commercial viability is very small. We want you to realize 30 million in a year. Okay, mwaka nsobola okufuna million 2 oba mu kitundu. But if you are getting 500,000 from a tank for 4 months, you don't know what you are. It's not a serious business undertaking. So, the market, I've shown you what is the requirement, which is growing, and what we are producing, a very big difference from what is required from what you are producing. For example, we are producing 120,000 metric tons, but what is required is 870, which is partly covered by the capture fish, 450, and 120 for the family fish. In 2021, we produced 139,000 metric tons. In 2022, it dropped to 101,000 metric tons. Such challenges is because the industry is not being handled seriously. People, they go in, and then we don't have a consistent data collection, we don't have a consistent production plan. That's why we are going to remain behind in production and will be even superseded. You will be passed by the countries which are neighboring. In East Africa, Uganda is number 1 in aquaculture.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Better than Kenya?
Yeah, we are better than Kenya. You just go for the statistics. In Africa, we are number 3.
Wow.
Number 1, surprise, surprise, is Egypt.
There's no water.
Egypt is a desert. Egypt gets its water from us here.
From us, from River Nile.
Yes. And they are a desert. With this beautiful weather, with all this water around us, we should be able to produce 10 to 20 times what Egypt is producing. Egypt is producing more than 2 million metric tons of fish, followed by Nigeria, which is producing about 300,000 metric tons, followed by Uganda at 120,000 metric tons. So Uganda should produce 20 million metric tons. Can you imagine what 20 million metric tons will bring in as turnover? That's why on my business card, I have a saying that water is better than gold.
Wow. Water is better than gold.
Better than gold. Can you get gold? In this country we have gold. Can you get gold?
I've entered in the gold mines, but I didn't get anything.
I can't get gold, but I can get water here. Water can come as rain. You dig a little down there, you'll get water, and you can even fetch it from the rivers. So with water, you have a gold in your area.
Fellow farmers, information you've been asking here at least is answered, and we are still digging information. I'm telling you, big up my friends from Egypt, where you are ranked #1 in fish farming, Nigeria, where you are ranked #2, and Ugandan people, where you are ranked #3. At least we should struggle so much to love fish farming, to farm fish and to eat it. At least it has good proteins. So the protein content of fish is very good for your health. Yeah, and those of you who want to cut weight, I'm told by the medics that you can eat fish and you leave meat.
In fact, when you talk about eating it,
yeah,
the statisticians, they take it as per capita consumption. Uganda is #1 in Africa. Per capita consumption, we have got 15 kilograms per person. Followed by DRC. DRC is 10 kilograms, 10 to 12 kilograms. Then Kenya, 4.5 kilograms. Tanzania, 8 kilograms. Rwanda, 2.5 kilograms. That is per capita consumption. How much does an individual consume a year on the average? Then again, looking at the statistics, you see, I look at this business as not only Uganda. We are looking at, of late, there is the East African Federation. The East African Federation is consisting of 8 countries, right? That is, we have Uganda, Kenya, not the East African Community. The East African Community, I think, has 18 countries. East African Federation, that's a block of countries starting from Kenya, going all the way to DRC. In fact, they cut across the continent. We have got Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, DRC, and Somalia. The total population of these countries is more than 300 million. More than 300 million. And the total consumption of fish is more than I think 4 million metric tons. So if you look at that market, and Uganda is in the lead, what we do here can work as a very good model for the rest of the countries. So if you master the technology of fish farming, you can become an expatriate to these other countries to introduce the system. So we need to adopt technology if we are to push this narrative. And much as traditional aquaculture of the pond has been doing very well, we need to scale up and look for other ways of doing this thing. So a search for technology in aquaculture is a must if we are just to stay the course of farming fish in that position of #1 and #3 respectively. If we don't, other people will do it, and it may not be Uganda.
Okay, Emma, this side. Now, fellow farmers, thank you for watching and subscribe, especially those of you who are new on this channel.
That I developed You know, traditionally fish comes from the lake.
Yes.
And it is obtained by fishermen. Fishermen are very healthy people because they eat very well and most importantly they exercise.
Yeah.
So this is an exercise for an elderly guy like me. And I enjoy what's happening. You can see the water is rotating and I'm flexing my muscles. So when I do this, you see the water has got a motion, inertia, which it generates.
Yeah.
This I call the teacup effect. You know, when you put sugar in a cup and if it has some small debris and then you start mixing it, you see that all the debris will collect at the center.
Yeah, I can see.
Now, when it collects at the center, the pump is taking out the debris and that debris is ending up in the filter. So if I do this every morning and every evening, I'm improving the water quality. I'm exercising my body.
Yes.
And I'm having a beautiful time.
Wow.
So this is the exercise.
That is so impressive.
And I'm connecting to nature, to tradition, because fishermen are the ones who use this thing.
Yeah.
So this is what you have been asking.
Yeah, it is very interesting. It is very interesting and I like it.
Thank you.
Okay. Finally, the farmers may ask you a question. Is it Mr. Charles is the one constructing this? Can I call him to construct my pond? Can he supply me fingerlings of catfish and many others?
Yes, yes.
What should the farmer expect from you apart from the knowledge?
Yeah, we look at the whole value chain. As I told you in the beginning, we started by setting up a hatchery.
Yeah.
Our capacity is 7.2 million 7.2 fingerlings per year, and we are ready to scale it up. Quality seed is the key to proper fish farming. So we can supply you the quality seed and we can advise you on how to feed it, and then we can supply you the market. If you have got fish which is ready, we can buy it. That one we are making sure that the whole value chain can be handled. We can assist the farmer to feel comfortable in whatever he's doing.
Yeah. So farmers don't get scared of the market.
Plus we give you the knowledge.
What you do, you are having the knowledge, you are having the market, you are having the seeds,
even the components.
The components they can give you.
Constructing the tanks.
So the task you have, and you don't, according to what I'm seeing here, you don't need a big portion of land. According to what I can see, you said it is 8 by what?
8 by 8 meters or 0.016 of an acre.
Then you can have almost 4 tanks or 5, depending on the size you want. And you start reaping big out of fish farming, following the practices that Charles is talking about here.
Getting the education, getting the knowledge.
Education is key, like other motors say.
When you get the knowledge, you'll enjoy what we are doing.
Anyway, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following